Hello everybody, I'm Ralph. Welcome to Horror and Coffee. Today we're going to be talking about sequels and the idea of how many movies can you make before you stop making sequels.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Horror and Coffee, where we like to drink our coffee while watching horror films. Alright, now today's subject on horror films is sequels, and when should a sequel stop? Or like, when should a movie and its sequels stop? At what point should they stop? At what number? Or etc, etc. Let's talk about The Exorcist. The Exorcist had a bunch of sequels itself.
The Exorcist was the best horror film of all time. I give it 5 coffee cups. It is the best. I mean, not only is it scary, it scares the crap out of you, but it's also psychological and it's also spiritual. It really cuts, and I think this is one of the things that really cut into people when this movie was released in theaters in the early 70s. That it really brought out the concept, the possibility of evil to an extreme extent that it had people running to the confessionals. Like, I'm telling you, it was crazy. There was an increase in confessions.
The Exorcist, I give it 5 coffee cups as well, because let me tell you something. This movie was made in 1973, and it's still way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It definitely is. When you watch this on Blu-ray or even on DVD, it's hard to believe that this was made in the 70s.
Exactly.
I mean, it's that good, and it's just way ahead of its time.
It's amazing.
But
the sequels.
Yeah, let's talk about the sequels.
I don't want to. I don't want to talk about the freaking sequels.
You saw part 2?
Yeah.
Horrible.
What the hell was that? What was that? What the
Okay, but what about part 3?
What the hell was part 3? What was that?
Well, what about Dominion?
No, the prequels even suck.
So basically, The Exorcist should have stopped at 1.
Yeah.
Right.
It really did.
5 coffee cups, The Exorcist. It shouldn't have gone beyond that.
Yeah.
This is the one to get. The others.
Oh, they're terrible.
Right,
Terrible.
Now let's talk about The Omen and its trilogy. Omen had 4 movies. One of them we wouldn't even mention. That was not even in the theaters.
Yeah, that's
right?
the 4th one.
That was the 4th one. Omen. Part 1, the original, Richard Donner.
Yes.
Directed part 1.
5 coffee cups.
5 coffee cups. I give it 5 coffee cups as well.
I give the sequel, the remake, actually, the same amount of coffee.
You said that on the last
episode. Said that on the last one. Yeah.
Omen 2.
Omen 2, I give 4 coffee cups.
4 coffee cups.
I liked it. I mean, I really did like it. Actually, it was scary. It just, he was a 13-year-old, and I deal with teenage boys all the time in their issues. So I
thought
guess,
the entire Omen trilogy was kind of creepy in itself. It didn't. In my case, I was young and I was watching the film, and I was sort of creeped out, thinking you don't know too much about the Bible at the time when I was young. So I was thinking that this stuff could actually happen. And
after learning the concept of, not the concept, but learning Bible prophecy and what it means and all that stuff, there are many interpretations of the book of Revelation, but, it's funny just seeing Damien's foster brother there sitting there reading the book of Revelation. He actually kind of got it after just overhearing his father's friend tell his father about who Damien was, and it's like he's like, oh, well, let me look this up in the Bible. I'm like, how did he know where to look?
So I give Omen 2, because I enjoyed it as well, 5 coffee cups. I give Omen 2 5 coffee cups. The Final Conflict.
I liked it. I give that one 5 coffee cups.
And I do give it 5 coffee cups.
It kind of gave the same feeling as the original film. It kind of brought things back to Europe, to England, and what was going on there. Damien's now full grown. He's the ambassador to...
I think the actor Sam Neill was perfect for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he was perfect for all his things.
Then at the end, when
you gotta say, okay, the Omen trilogy, definitely a keeper in the collection.
Yeah.
All right, now here's something the Saw movies. There's been a lot of Saw movies, and my personal opinion on the Saw movies, it should have stopped at 3 because part 1, 2, and 3 to me were the best in the trilogy.
Really good. We're really good.
And they got better.
Right.
I liked it Saw, but then part 2 was even better than part 1.
Right.
And then part 3 even went beyond that. It was better than that. But that at part 3, that's where Jigsaw died, and then the rest just crumbled along the way.
And everything is like, oh, I found the tape in the body, you know.
So the Saw trilogy, I give that. We're going to go by the trilogy in itself. The Saw trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, I give it 5 coffee cups.
I give it 4. I'm not into those kind of films as much. You know, the whole torture thing. Not really my.
Well,
it's not really my cup of tea.
Cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
All right. So we're moving right along here. Now we're going to go to the Halloween, the original.
Oh, damn right.
All right. Now Halloween should have stopped at 2.
At 2.
At 2.
Not at 3. Not at 4 with the girl. 2.
At 2. It should have stopped at 2. All the other ones were just horrible. Even though I did like the part 3 of Season of the Witch.
It's its own story,
It's its own story.
and it should have been treated as such. And I think that
It should have just been called Season of the Witch.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest story in the world. I give it 3 coffee cups. You know, but it wasn't horrific like that. I get some people who disagree, and that's okay. But I found it thoroughly entertaining.
I saw Halloween 3 in the theaters, and a lot of people were disappointed at the ending. But I got to tell you, when I was watching the theaters, everybody was enjoying the film of Halloween 3. Everybody was enjoying it up till the ending when he went, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Oh yeah, because you didn't know what happened.
Everybody hated the film.
People don't like being left hanging in a movie.
Exactly. So I guess that's what killed it. But Halloween 1, how many coffee cups?
5.
I give it 5 coffee cups.
But I have to admit, this is my personal opinion. In a weird way, I kind of feel like Halloween 2 is just a wee bit better. I don't know why.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. It's just scarier. You're already in the moment.
No, but I gotta disagree
and
because
it's kind of
Halloween 1 had no gore.
No, I'm not talking about blood.
And it was suspenseful, and it was done very well done by John Carpenter.
It's not the blood. It's not the blood thing. It's not the gore.
What I'm just saying
of.
is that it was just very well done. It's what made the slasher films. It opened the door for the slasher films.
It really did. It really did. Halloween was the originator of the slasher films. It really was. I mean, there were films like that before, but that really opened the door, made it go down. Which leads me, actually, you didn't mention this, but here's sequels. Here's a movie franchise that should have stopped after part 4. I'm talking about Friday the 13th.
Yeah, part 4.
Part 4. The final chapter, it said. That's where it should have stayed.
Because every and I got to tell you, I totally agree with that. Part 1 was good. Part 2 was good. Part 3 was good. And then part 4 was excellent. And it should have went out like that.
Yeah.
If Friday the 13th would have went out with part 4, people, I would have said to you right now, remember Friday the 13th, how good it went?
Yeah.
Was that last film?
But then what happened the following year? A new beginning.
Right, and now Jason.
And then he took Manhattan.
Now Jason and the
then
Friday
he faced the psychic.
Now Jason and the Friday the 13th series don't get the respect it deserves.
Right.
And now he's just treated as another franchise
cartoon character.
Jason X. Anyway, so it should have stopped at part 4. Excellent that you brought that up.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about the Halloween, the new version of the film by Rob Zombie.
First film, the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween. I give it.
You gave it right here.
I gave it 3 cups, 3 coffee cups.
I would have to agree with my buddy. I'm agreeing with you a lot here. 3 coffee cups. Rob Zombie's Halloween was not better than the original, no doubt. And he had to make it his certain
thing away from John.
He had to make it a certain way to bring it to now this generation.
Right.
Although I liked the way he still kept the 1970s look in that film.
Yeah.
But then here we go with the.
Well, it was weird because it was like the setting was different. It was like 1978 that it started, and they were watching a little black and white TV, and then. I think all those years later, it was 15 years after 1978. What was that? Okay. Like the early 90s?
That whole thing.
They still have black and white TVs?
No, exactly. But you're talking about part 2. In part 2, what was it? Was it still 1970s? Or was it today?
No, it was still the early 90s.
early that, but everybody had black and white TVs still in that time. And then the whole hospital sequence in Halloween 2.
That was probably the only part that was good.
That was good. That was the only part, but it was a dream.
It was a dream.
Which was terrible. And what
was the shit with the mom? What
was the horse? Why do we have to have the horse on the den?
It was like a symbol thing. If you saw the beginning,
I still don't get it. I don't get the symbol.
It's a in the very beginning of the movie there was a quote from Carl Jung or some psychologist about what the horse.
They should have left it out.
No, not from Carl Jung, from Dr. Loomis himself, I think.
And then Dr. Loomis, he was such a compassionate guy in the first movie. He became such a prick in the second one.
Yeah.
He was all about money in the second one.
Yeah, it was like you were dealing with a totally different person.
I don't understand it.
That was really retarded.
I don't understand it. Anyway, I liked it, his remake for what it was, but I hated the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad Rob Zombie's not doing part 3. Next week we review other horror films for Horror and Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any requests, leave your comments in the bottom and we'll look at your requests.
Definitely.
We'll watch the films and we'll review them for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, throw some ideas your way, our way, that is. And,
what horror films you want us to watch
Right.
for you.
Right. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Because believe you me, I like it when a friend asks me, "Yo, Vic, have you seen this movie? I saw it. It's good." And a lot of the horror films that I have in my collection are based on friends' recommendations, and I turned out to like them, except for Paranormal Activities 2.
Can we get over that?
Next episode, we will review The Last Exorcism.
That's right.
Right, and I'll give you my review. Ralph will give you his review. And what does it compare to the original Exorcist? We're not reviewing it. All right, we're not reviewing it.
Shake of the head,
Ralph.
shake of the head, shake of the head, shake of the head.
All right. What does it compare to The Exorcist?
All right.
All right, so I'll see you next week. And don't forget to drink your coffee and come back to us.
No problem. Later.
Yeah, and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Give it 5 stars.
Not
only does it scare
5 stars?
Yeah, 5. I'm sorry.